Good morning, everybody. This is Javier here bringing you your daily Chinese character. So today's character and lesson is going to be a very simple one compared to last time because it's a very simple understanding, a very simple picture, and a very simple definition. And how we've explained things, I think we're starting to get a little bit more of a hang of what the primitives are about. So hopefully this lesson will go very, very smoothly. Okay, so without saying much, let's get started. So today's lesson and character is this. Can you guess what it is? It is a very common one and it has many, many definitions. Actually, not that many. But in modern day, because the dialects, because of the usage, it tends to have a little difference. So the first meaning is center. The other meaning is middle. And then you have a third meaning, China. Even in Japan and Korean, this character tends to portray more of China. Talks more about China, the country of China. And it's actually related to these two definitions, and we'll explain why later. So without saying much, let's get to the primitive. And let me change the pen. Alright, so here we are. The primitive. So the primitive of the character, it actually is related to bow and arrow, like what it actually is. So first, let me write down the modern character. Now let me write the primitive. By the way, that's supposed to be it should have been better drawn, but so that's primitive. And it says that it's an arrow fixed on a target. So it's like maybe you were practicing archery, and here's the arrow, and this is the target, the object of a target, and you see that it goes right through the center. Hence the meaning center or middle. So you have two interpretations, or at least I see two interpretations from this. One is, okay, so similarly to the arrow, here's the arrow, and it's right in the middle, or in the center of the target, just like this picture, simplified picture. Okay, so that's one way to look at it. And then the other way is this one. Actually, the arrow being pulled back, or the bow being pulled before you shoot the arrow. And you also see that you have to be right in the middle, ready to shoot, so you can get to your target the most precise way possible. So you see the arrow here again, and then the bow actually makes a very similar picture to the bow. So you can look however you like it, whether this will be the target or the actual bow. It doesn't matter how you prefer to see it, but again, those are your options that you like to see it. And the primitive meanings is center or middle. So where does China come in? Well, China comes in later on, because in ancient China, of course, every nation thought themselves to be the center or the middle of everything. So China was no different. China is known to be the middle country because they were in the center, and they And being the center means being important, being of value to the other neighbor countries. Hence, that's where China and middle are used interchangeably nowadays. So be aware that it can also mean China. So that's really it. So to remember the essence, the center of all. And I put here two little pictures to kind of make sense to what I'm trying to say. So you see the first picture of Waldo finding himself is, yes, center. He has found his own center. And again, it's also metaphoric meaning. Found the center. And then you have the other picture, the moment he realized he was a middle child now. Oh, I am not a middle child per se, but I'm going to tell you though, I do know that they experience this inner sadness that they see. So, the emphasis, middle child. We're going to put the character right here. Or there, right in the forehead. Maybe it'll be a nice tattoo for him. So going over the characters here, actually let me try to write it a little better. See, the arrow goes through it, and then the primitive character. And the definitions, meaning middle, or that includes like mid, like midsection, mid anything, centering, and then don't forget China. So once again, the center of all. So it's a very simple character. I hope you guys really understand the essence now. And then we'll keep going for more tomorrow. So please like the video if you enjoyed it. Or if you have any questions, please let me know. I'll be more than happy to answer them. Alright, thank you. Enjoy your day ahead.